This video will show you how to configure your Microsoft Outlook 2007 email client to send and receive your email. In this example, we have already created a mailbox called bobsmith@daily-example.co.uk in our My Daily control panel. If you have not already created your own email address, you will need to do this first. We have a separate video guide showing you how to do this. We start by going to the Tools menu and then selecting Account Settings. On the window that appears, select New, and we can then start to enter our details. So your name is the display name, so in this case we shall be Mr. Bob Smith, and that email address that we created earlier. And the password we used. Note the option for manually configure server settings or additional server types. You need to check this. And then select Next. On Choose Email Service, we're going to want either a POP or IMAP, so leave it on Internet Email. And this is where we can enter our actual settings. You'll see your name and email address is already inside. Now, under Server Information and Account Type, it will have POP3 selected by default. This should be fine, however you will notice there is an option for IMAP as well. Now, if ever you are connecting to your email through another device, like a smartphone such as an iPhone or a BlackBerry, then make sure you select IMAP rather than POP3. The reason being that sometimes mailboxes can become locked if you're trying to access them from two locations at the same time. So for instance, if you had Microsoft Outlook open and you were connecting through your iPhone as well. In this example though, we're only going to be using Microsoft Outlook, so we'll leave it on the default POP3 setting. The incoming mail server is always pop.daily.co.uk, and the outgoing mail server is always mail.daily.co.uk. For the login information, the username is always the full email address. So in this case, we shall just copy and paste the email address, save typing it in again. You will notice that sometimes it automatically populates this field with the first part of the email address. This of course is wrong, so it needs to be the full email address. And the password again. There is no need to tick the box for log on using secure password authentication. Next, you select the More Settings button. There is an optional step here if you like to give your mail an easy to remember name. So we'll call this one Bob's Email. Now if you select the Outgoing Server tab, you need to make sure this option is ticked, otherwise you'll be able to receive email but you won't be able to send. So my outgoing server SMTP requires authentication. You can leave this option the same where it says use same settings as incoming mail server. Next, if you go to Advanced, you'll notice outgoing server is on 25. If you change that to 587, the reason being that we've found some ISPs sometimes block port 25, whereas with port 587 we've so far had no issues. Select OK, select Next, and select Finish. And finally, select Close. Your email will now be added to Microsoft Outlook, so if we do a send and receive, you'll see both tasks being completed, and inside the inbox there's a copy of Bob Smith test email that we sent earlier. As this is Microsoft Outlook, any email accounts you add as POP will automatically send all email into the inbox in your personal folders. If you were to create a connection using IMAP, then each different mail account will be listed differently below. But for all intents and purposes, this email account is now fully configured to send and receive email through Microsoft Outlook 2007.